Well, it's evidently not broken for you. Unfortunately, I doubt you'll be able to shut up the ones that it is broken for, but there we go. As I say, it's on Justin TV's end. We are informed that it will hopefully be resolved shortly. Several major data centers perhaps might not be working. Whatever the case, I am going to bring you this game right here, which is Lalush from Team Millennium. He is in the red trunks and he is playing Zerg versus his opponent. This is on the Tal'Darim altar, by the way. His opponent is Moon in the blue trunks, and he is also playing Zerg. We just saw perhaps one of the most passive Zerg versus Zerg games going on for almost 30 minutes with literally nothing happening until the last 5 minutes. Lalush and Moon just holding off on attacking each other, spending ages just sitting in their base, really doing not an awful lot. But what really made the difference was the fact that Moon was able to get out those Broodlords, and Lalush really didn't have an answer to that one. He was forced to build a mass Hydralisk, which ended up being ripped apart by fungal growths, which tends to happen, honestly. It is fairly unpleasant one way or the other. Now we'll just wait and see what Lalush has in store for us this time around, and Moon played a very passive economic game the last time. He was ahead of Lalush for the vast majority of the game in terms of his economy, and that did help. Lalush did have a good upgrade count, but he wasn't really able to do anything with it. That's perhaps the most important thing to take from that. There's no point in having an army if you can't kill things with it. Both of these guys are opening up the spawning pool this time around, so we're not looking for a fast expansion, which on Tal'Darim altar to me seems a little unusual. Tal'Darim altar, due to its size, is incredibly safe to expand on, and it's fairly easy to defend this area as well. We're not going to be seeing that one right now, not at all. Double spawning pool coming in from both. Now I have to wonder if Moon will try for a quicker victory this time around, or perhaps whether Lalush will look for the really good early game aggression. He put a lot of pressure on Moon initially. Moon handled it extremely well, but still, Lalush wasn't able to follow up. After those initial attacks with the Zerglings and Banelings, that was it. There was nothing left at all. Spawning pool complete for both players. Speedling upgrade on its way for both players. And a Queen coming up for both players. Is there a difference? Not really. That's Zerg versus Zerg for you in the first 5 minutes or so. Now, considering the fact that they both went for this early pool, I would expect to see Zergling-Baneling wars for at least the next 5 minutes of the game. Lalush gets a quick scout, and he sees that there is absolutely no fast expansion there. He knows his opponent is doing exactly what he's doing. Lalush has no scouting information as of yet, not that that should make him deviate his plan. Baneling Nest coming down for Lalush. I would expect to see one from Moon momentarily. I can't imagine he's going to hold off on that for too long. In fact, he's actually going to expand, and this might be an error. This will be interesting. We'll have to see whether or not that actually helps him out all that much, because the lack of Banelings is going to hurt him badly. That said, Lalush is certainly good with Banelings, but Moon is even better at picking them off. Picks them off with a couple of Zerglings, maybe even just one. Excellent micromanagement, is able to neutralize the majority of the Banelings before they get into a dangerous position. There's about a 40-second window right here where Lalush is going to have Banelings and his opponent will not. You see Lalush streaming across the map looking for a timing right here. Needs to morph his Banelings through immediately, and I expect that to happen very, very soon indeed. They're actually happening at the back right now. It'll take a little bit longer for those to come up, and of course that does mean that the Baneling Nest of Moon will get a little bit more time to complete. Moon streaming across the map right now. He's got a few more Zerglings, but there are Banelings ready. However, Moon does spot them, looking for a detonation right there. A good spread right there by Moon. He's not taking too much damage from that one little bit. A couple of Banelings to follow it up, in fact 4, and this is certainly a threat to Moon right here. Moon trying to pick off this Banelings. He can take those initial ones right there, and Lalush looking to deny this expansion. It's going down pretty damn fast as well. 50% and falling rapidly. Moon looking for the surround right here. Banelings are on the way for both. There are no active Banelings on the field right now. We're under red health, looking 300 HP, falling rapidly, 150. Surely Lalush can finish this, and down it goes. That's a very good start for Lalush. Extremely good. That puts Moon in a really bad position. Bear in mind that hatchery was complete. That's 400 minerals just thrown away, and it puts Lalush into a position where he has the advantage. The question is, can he do anything with it? It's going to come down once again to the Zergling Baneling Wars coming in. This one has taken a lot of damage, so I imagine it's going to get picked off very quickly by perhaps this initial Zergling. Nicely done there by Moon. Exceptional play. The second Baneling follows up. However, there's a mass morph in right here. Baneling on Baneling action going in, and the Queen looking to intercept it. Will it get to the mineral line? If it does, it doesn't make a lot of difference because it doesn't kill them. He needs an upgrade to make that happen, but the second Baneling and the third will follow that one up. needs to get in there immediately. If he's able to do damage to that mineral line and tear up those right there, he's going to do incredibly well. He's got 2 more moving in, 1 intercepted and 2. Nice defense there by Moon. Those badly injured drones will eventually heal themselves, but Lalush can't be all that happy that he wasn't able to follow up. We can have a look at the state of the economy right now, and we'll see that Lalush is losing an awful lot of drones right here to some Zergling harassment. 10 workers killed by Moon so far. That was some absolutely fantastic harassment there, and that puts the economic advantage firmly back in the hands of Moon. Bit of Baneling detonation going on, and regardless of the fact that Moon ended up losing that expansion, he has managed to pull ahead once again. Army supply count slightly in favor of Lalush, and a mass Baneling Morphin coming in. It's going to come down to, once again, how much damage he can do. Can he reach the mineral line? Can he do damage? If he can annihilate that 1 mineral line, then that will, of course, be it. Moon perhaps looking for detonation of his own. He's not able to take a Baneling. Nice spread there by Lalush. Here's the follow-up. We see Zerglings streaming across the map to the left-hand side, but they're far away from anything Lalush has right now. A couple of Banelings are moving in to try and get detonation. They can pick off. He takes 2 for 2. Moon with another detonation, 1 for 1, and there's only 3 left. He picks off another. Exceptional Zerg versus Zerg play going on right here. Lalush looks for the surround on those queens. He doesn't really have a huge amount of damage. He's going for that line, and it looks like he might get it. Moon needs to move away immediately and able to minimize the damage quite nicely. Another detonation back there. Not so amazing right there. Lalush was looking for way more. He does have a few Zerglings hidden in the side of the base, however. 14 drones to 11. And in comes Moon's attack right here on Lalush's base. That's a good amount of harassment he'll be able to bring in right here, and he could do massive damage to the economic line of Lalush. Going to charge through, and it looks like Lalush should be able to lock it down quite nicely. A couple of reinforcements streaming in, and of course a few pokes from the drones should deal with that. These hidden units could be critical. You can very clearly see it right there. These Banelings are ready to intercept. We'll see as to whether or not he can do anything with them. Moon just scouting around right now. We can have a look at the units killed, and we'll see that only 4 workers killed by Moon, Lalush in fact, and 10 by Moon. Units killed is pretty equal. Unit loss count is extremely similar. Very much so. Lalush still hiding those 2 secret Banelings right there. Maybe we'll have a game where the secret Banelings come into effect, as opposed to the game with Hapro, where it really didn't. Looking for an attack right now, goes for the mineral line. Moon moving out almost immediately. Not a good detonation by Lalush. Moon is exceptionally good at defending against these Baneling attacks. Currently 20 drones to 16 in favor of Moon. Lalush looking in a little bit of a weak position for the time being. Both still hanging around on 1 base. Lalush not really able to capitalize on taking out that hatchery, which was a huge victory early on. But we've seen no real follow-up to that. Moon can take a freebie in that Overlord, but it doesn't really matter too much. Plenty of supply available. The supply count is perhaps the thing we should look at the most. 40 for Moon, now 41, 27 for his opponent. Massive, massive increase for Moon. Barely any army left right here, and Moon streaming in. Needs to get a really good Baneling detonation here. Lalush needs to move immediately. If he doesn't, this is going to be devastating. A little bit of damage done there, and charges in once again. Still not as good as I would have hoped there from Moon. But Moon mass droning right here and taking up to Lair. Currently on 30 drones versus 16. Lalush chasing him away as quickly as possible, but to be honest, I wouldn't expect Lalush to be able to do all that much. Moon redeploying, Banelings at the front, and there's the expansion, and Lalush very, very far behind. His army supply is negligible, to be fair, as is Moon's. A little quick detonation there with that Baneling. He's able to chase Lalush around a bit, but that's really about it. Lalush does spot the lair timing. That's a bit of useful information, but that really is about it. The question is, what is Lalush really going to do? He's been stuck on 1 base for ages, which is never good in Zerg versus Zerg. It's never good in any matchup, particularly bad here. Moon just holding the line and being as defensive as humanly possible, which is to be expected right now. He has no reason to attack. His worker supply is far in excess of Lalush. Lalush has actually decided to expand right now, finally. However, he's way, way behind. We're looking at 38 drones to 25 in favor of Moon. It's almost insurmountable advantage, but not quite. Moon now grabbing the infestation pit, and notice the massive tech disadvantage we've got right here. Lalush has only just started his lair tech, and Moon is going for infestation pit and has just completed it. putting the Infestors in the mix is really going to cause Lalush a whole heap of problems, and I don't really see how he's going to be able to deal with them. He doesn't have the requisite resources, but neither player actually has an army right now. Both purely focusing on being as economical as possible. Moon trying to grab as many minerals as he can. He has a massive lead, 40 drones now, 42 to 27. However, once those Infestors come out, things are going to change very quickly and very badly for Lalush. He does have a good amount of resources saved up, but he is going for queens and he's going for drones. This is the kind of time where Moon could really build an army and actually do some damage. Pathogen Glands upgrade coming up, a Spine Crawler coming up as well. Lalush currently sitting on a Lair and Roach Warren, nothing else. A couple of Zerglings moving in, some scouting information has been gathered. Nothing else though. Once again, we're turning this into a massively passive game between these two, which is exactly what happened in the previous encounter. We've got a Roach Warren coming up almost complete now for Lalush, but still he's so far behind in terms of his tech. He's only just got his lair. He's not working on his Glial Reconstitution upgrade. I imagine he will, of course, immediately after that. Hive tech is on its way up for Moon, and really, Infestors would have been all he needed. Moon just not building anything. No army for either side. This is the kind of game where you've got to sort of sit back and stroke your beard, saying, what could happen? Yes. That really is about it. Not exactly what I call high action. The analysts will no doubt love it. Overseer on the way up for Moon. Plenty of drones in terms of his advantage. That hive tech is going to really matter. I'm very surprised he just hasn't built some Infestors and actually gone for it. Moon actually has an army that is now in the double digits. So there you go. Well done to Moon. 11. That is 11 versus 3. I think that's what? 4 Zerglings and a Baneling? And we're 17 minutes into the game. So I might want to tell these players that we're not actually playing SimCity. Moon moving forward, having a little look around, seeing what he can see right here. He spotted the tech. He knows what's going. Pathogen Glands upgrade coming in as well. The Hive tech is now complete for Moon, and the question is, what will the follow-up be? Surely it will be a Broodlord and a Great Spire. Now, Moon really can win this game easily if he builds Broodlords. There's no real question about it. Lalush doesn't really have an answer for it. He's relying entirely on Infestor. He doesn't have New or Parasite. He can fungal growth them, but Broodlords do have a lot of HP. It would be a little tricky, and of course they do move. Great Spire coming in. It's going to be several more minutes before Moon actually decides to engage here. Army supply count in the double digits for both, 16 to 14. Worker supply counts right here. 68 drones to 53. A couple of Zerglings streaming in, finding nothing of note, and of course those Banelings will be picked up very, very easily by Moon. Not really sure what Lalush is trying to achieve there, morphing in Banelings right next to Creep. That was, of course, immediately spotted. Moon with 5 Spine Crawlers coming in. Now, I think we said before that X-Lord was the goodie of the Zerg world. I might have to revise that statement. It could be Moon. Waiting for 20 minutes to get Broodlord tech up before actually attacking his opponent. Army supply count, fairly equal on both sides. We're getting some Zerglings coming up. We've got a Baneling on both sides, just a token Baneling, mascot Baneling perhaps. Corruptor's moving across the field, that's 8, and he can easily turn those into Broodlords as soon as he's got the money to do so. And then once the Broodlords come in, that's probably it, honestly, for Lalush. In the meantime, however, Lalush is sneaking in right here. 4 Infestors. That's going to be spotted by... No, it's not. That's actually Lalush's Overseer. He doesn't quite have the range, though. Infested Terrans could do some damage. Certainly, he could throw them up there. I don't know if he can land a fungal growth from this range, though. I think he's slightly out of it. He manages it nonetheless, and a little bit of economic damage done right there. Infestors moving to counter Infestors. Yes, folks. Absolutely. Greatest counter to Infestors is Infestors, as we can see right there. Fungal growths pop several of them, and those Infested Terrans deal with the rest. Where are those Broodlords? Finally, they're coming in, and we still see no answer from Lalush at all. Primarily Roaches. Got no real scouting information. He doesn't know about that Great Spire. Once the Broodlords come in, Lalush actually can't do anything, really, other than try and land fungal growths or deploy Infested Terrans. Lalush has no anti-air capabilities at all. No Spore Crawlers deployed as far as I can see. relying primarily on Infestors and Roaches, which of course is useless against Broodlords, and here we go. Moon should be able to flatten Lalush completely. I don't see how Lalush can really defend against this. A lot of Broodlords streaming across the field, and of course a lack of scouting information not really helping for Lalush at all. We've got 7 Broodlords right now. No real defenses. Lalush with a few Zerglings streaming across to scout expansions and look for anything, really. Double Infestation pick going for Moon, in fact, Evolution Chamber, never mind. But really, Lalush has nothing he can do here. He has no anti-air defense at all. Moon even with some little changelings in the corner right there just to make sure that everything's good. It's going to come down to whether or not the Infestors can really land a fungal growth. But honestly, Lalush surely can't hold this. We've got mass. That was a good fungal growth, actually. And we've got some mass infested Terrans coming in, trying to eliminate them. That's really the only defense he's got. He should be able to clean them up, though. He might lose maybe one Broodlord, but still nothing to really worry about. Lalush coming in with a mass, and I do mean a massive energy infestor, but it's picked up quite easily. This is all the defense that he's really got. The infested Terrans are not going to be enough under any circumstances. Moon easily keeping those Broodlords alive, now charging into the line. A Spire on the way up for Lalush, but really he's got nothing else to defend against this. The Broodlords should be able to smash their way through there, no problem at all. Natural Expand with the Great Threat. GG, ladies and gentlemen, there you go.